Hey there, fellow human. Welcome to another episode of Disorganized Productions. And boy, am I disorganized. I mean, last episode, I did a solo episode and I explained myself that my guest didn't show up. But I was talking to my guest the other day. It seemed that he was trying to join, but I couldn't see anything in Zoom because I had some network problems. And with that said, I'm just going to admit my new guest in a podcast. He will be there in a second. Then we have going to have a brilliant conversation. Oh wow, there he is already. I was just okay. You're connecting with the audio. That seems to be all perfectly fine. I can't hear you yet, but yeah, we're dealing with some. Well, I've been dealing with some problems. Like I said in the little intro, was just starting with the intro. Yeah, you're still connecting with the audio. I see that. So, but that's kind of yes. There you are.
Yeah, man, I gotta try and because I'm on my dad's computer.
Oh, yeah, you're looking brilliant. Me, I'm just on the phone. So I was, if you just wait for a little second, I just wanted to tell my audience about the last thing that I screwed up with Disorganized Productions. And then we're going to have a brilliant conversation, Stein. So it seemed that I had so much network problems that even the video that normally is going to be perfect and the audio from the files that I get from Zoom normally are perfect. So I edit them and all that stuff. But when I did that with the last podcast, it seemed that the audio in the beginning was uh it was a mess. And the video was just a few pixels. So I really had some problems. And it turned out that KPN, which is the provider here in the Netherlands, has some updates on their network. So hopefully they're done with that kind of shit because finally we're going to do some new stuff right here on Disorganized Productions. I want to shout out to Sam that's going to provided me with a brand new website, holisticcarnomad.com. Of course, you can see all my links at disorganizedproductions.com. You can have your grounding mats, the book of wisdom, and all the nutrition that you need to have a better life, to be the best version of yourself. Right there, I'm going to post them, of course, in the show description. And please welcome with me, fellow humans, Stein Hawkes from the Greyhorn Pagan podcast.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you for having me. I just made it. Thankfully, my dad has a really good computer and a decent webcam and mic. Because man, I got so many things going on at the moment. I keep forgetting shit. Like I have work. I got my own show that people are scheduling on. That I'm like, who are you? I never spoke to you, but okay. Cheers for scheduling. Interviews, private life. It's everything at once. But we're here, and yeah, thanks for having me, man. Thanks for letting me come on again.
Yeah. It's Chaos Creates Harmony, as you know. The fellow listeners, they know that my show is called that, Chaos Creates Harmony. But nevertheless, finally, we have the pagan and the handsome devil. Guess who is who?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Stein, good to see you, man. We met each other in Amsterdam, actually,
Yeah,
a little while ago, which was really cool to see each other in person, right?
yeah. It was a lot of fun. We had the handsome Neville, the pagan. We had the vampire. We had the well
But
nutritionist.
yeah,
And his
nutritionist.
rocket scientist father.
Wow. Yes. Shout out to Brandon. It was a pretty cool time that we had right there. So
Yeah, man.
what I'm trying to, or what I want to do, Stein, is when I'm done with this episode, I'm going to send it to you so you can post it also on your channel. So we have a
Cool.
double wobble today. I think that's the bad thing because we as content creators, and a lot of people do not know that, it's not only the scheduling and talking to people on a podcast. It's of course it comes with a lot of other stuff to do. Um, I saw that you did a podcast with Derek Stitt. Shout out to the Stitt.
Yeah. I did.
And I saw that on Spotify, and he seems to have the video of you two guys also on Spotify. So if you look at the podcast, you can also check the video. So I want to figure out how that's working.
Yeah,
And I noticed,
it's a thing that Spotify does since a while. Like you can watch video on Spotify. I'm not sure who actually does that, but it's an option. Yeah.
right. I think so. And the other thing is, so it's not only 2 hours of talking or whatever time, it's also editing the stuff. I never edit things out, but I want to make it more professional because I don't have the gear here in my car
Yeah.
because I'm a car nomad to set up everything perfectly so it sounds like really good, crispy shit. I know that you're doing a lot of shows. Like every Saturday, you do a show with Zeralath, and
Yeah.
then we talked about it a little bit before. And please tell me about it. Um, you were asked for a TV show.
Yeah, that was uh a recommendation from Yost. Actually, he always comes with that kind of stuff. That was yeah, it was for a new program from uh Bien and Vara, which is for those not familiar with Dutch TV, it's kind of the, yeah, what is it? Youth, late teens, early 20s kind of
Like
TV,
us.
like, yeah, definitely. Mentally, at least. Uh,
Mentally, yeah.
no, but it's Pearls for the Swine with a very well-known um non-binary rock um person, artist. Um like it was an existing program, but they had to do an overhaul because at first it was with like just the every like famous Dutch person that you've seen on TV already, but then in a more intimate setting on their farm and all of that, which, yeah, okay, cool. It was but then the audience got really pissed off that the cooking that they did on the show wasn't actually cooking, but there was catering. So they, yeah, no way,
Fake news.
they're lying to you on TV. Uh,
What? No, the television?
the tell a lie vision. Yeah, that's ooh, shocker.
Right.
So like their entire media team was like, "Oh shit! Like we need to overhaul this. We need to do something else because oh god, like we have a contract. There's money to be made. A lot of money spent already. So they decided to like put out a call on Instagram. That was the original post that Yost shared with me. Like, hey, do you have a cool story to tell? Do you like have this or have done that, or like, I don't know, just want to do a backflip bare naked and have a beer with me? Um, because why not?
I like
Um,
the beard. The other thing, I don't know it's suitable for this, but
I mean, I'm not that athletic, so um, like send us an email at like this and this address, and I send out an email with, of course, the thing that I do, like the part like about my ancestral faith, about the tribe, about my podcast, and like that I try to educate people about our ancestral faith, about the gods, about all the more, occult, esoteric, mystic things that come with it. And I've gotten really far. Actually, I've had like two, like I want to say like at least two phone calls with um one of the producers from the production company, the production house that produces the show for Bien Nevada. Um, like they really liked the story and they wanted me to like draft up something because my idea was to like do a ancestral ritual on live TV. Like to also like show like what we do, what we're about, and all of that. And um it's so funny. The actual reason, or what the reason that I was told why they why I wasn't chosen is because they felt it was too big for like just that show. Like, like I was planning like an whole ancestral thing, and then like I was. I mean, I was basically planning for. I mean, you could almost say like an entire documentary. Well, it was just supposed to be like a 45-hour episode, really.
Right, right.
Um, so yeah, but like I still, you know, have the telephone number of, the producer, and I already got some or at least a tip from Martin from Tribe of the Fox. Like, hey, there's always like this other producer who is kind of a rogue kind of producer. Like he like goes against the mainstream, goes against the grain and all of that, and like really takes on the more alternative side of things.
Right.
So I still like have multiple options that I can explore.
Mhm.
But like I've gotten really close, like closer than I ever imagined I would come. Because Yost also sent in his story about, the whole vampire cult thing, and I was like, well, I mean, they're gonna choose like between freaking somebody who used to be like in a vampire cult and a pagan. I was like, I mean, I choose the vampire cult, but they went
Right,
for the pagan.
right. But it's really interesting because nowadays we can create that own stuff. I mean, if you really want to push it, I mean, I purchased myself a camera not long ago, like a P900 from Nikon. I can make shots of the moon that are incredible and also videos. But the podcasting stuff is what I like, but I like also to make some really valuable content, make pictures, some videos and stuff like that. But if we're gonna take it to the next level and to make a documentary our own, you know how to edit the stuff. We have the capability, the tools, the software nowadays that is going to help us to do that. I mean, go for it, man, because I think that the things that we want to talk about in a podcast or the things that are lying within our interest should be brought out in the world so more people can dig into that kind of stuff.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, it's cool doing this independently and like growing your audience organically through podcasting. I mean, it's how I got my YouTube channel to over 1K. Um,
Wow.
I'm not able to monetize it though, because YouTube's like, here's some.
Now you need 5,000 for to monetize on
No, no, no,
YouTube.
no. You need 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours. Like I got the watch hours before I got the subscribers. Like
Wow.
long live podcasting, like fucking 2.5, 3.5 hour shows sometimes. Um, it's insane. Uh, but what was it? My thumbnails are misleading
Oh, you got the the
because
the
of
the
because of reasons.
Warnings. Yeah.
No, not even warnings. Like, just my thumbnails are misleading and, like, only to drive clicks. And it's like, well, yeah, that's that's
That's
that's what
supposed to
thumbnails
be,
are for. Okay.
right?
And uh a lack of original content, while I've been creating more original content than ever before.
Wow. Wow. Yeah. So I had two community strike things going on
Oh,
with
really?
YouTube in the beginning before I had like 40 episodes on. So I said, like, I'm not going to post anything because otherwise they're going to take it down. It's like 40 hours of, blood, sweat, and tears. But I
Mm.
really do hope so that we both now make a chance to get this drone going with the thing that you
The
sent me.
heartbeats. Yeah,
Dude,
yeah, I shared that with you because I
swear to God, I if I'm gonna win that drone, I'll definitely come to where I know where you are. We're not gonna mention any locations because you never know what kind of stuff is gonna happen when they know the location.
like, yeah, yeah, yeah.
But probably that's the reason why I'm a nomad, right? So is this thing hanging? Oh no, it's not hanging in my face, right? It's just a shadow, right? Okay, this I think it's just a
No,
shadow.
it's all good. Just gives you a
Okay,
bit
so
of an edge, you know.
oh, a little bit of an edge. Oh, I need that sometimes. And I need to dull the knife too, because otherwise I'm too sharp. But that's the thing. If you can get the gear or the sponsoring from some products like that, like the DIY or like a drone, you
Mm.
you can definitely get some great footage out. And to talk a little bit more about the podcast, to do more with less effort and to have some great shots that really, trigger people to look at stuff. Because
Yeah.
if you do not like to see two people talking on whatever subject, which we do on the podcast, then that's nothing. But if you share, like, oh, I'm editing right now, I'm now walking in the woods or whatever the fuck, yeah, that's gonna be a tremendous upload, tremendous um gain for content creators like us. That's why I'm pushing and trying to push my content out and all the links. It's not like, you know, well, it is like we don't make any real money with the things that we do, and it's fine.
No, not
Well,
really.
a little bit. It drips on and on with the platforms I'm on, and some things working, some things don't. But of course, if I could put out the things that I have in my head into that kind of thing, like podcasting, music, and videos, only these three things, these multimedia things, dude, I can work on it all day because I have so many ideas. But now, just like you said in the beginning, I don't find the time because of me too. I'm working, and today was 10 and a half hours. That seems a lot or not a lot. But it's work. So when you back home, wherever that is, I'm also a little bit done with the day, especially right now while I'm living into nature. Sun is almost set right now. Within 15 to 20 minutes, it's dark. I
Mm.
feel that my melatonin is going,
Yeah.
not on the phone. And then I go to bed. So like 10 o'clock, I'm most of the time done. Not when I'm having a podcast and having the energy like you have and the energy we're creating together. So yeah, that's definitely going to help us out a lot. So if you're listening to this podcast, DIY, we need that. We need that. And we're going to make some content together if we're going to win.
Yeah. No, exactly. And the like that's I've been like also making like a lot of um standalone videos, like on particular topics, just because I like creating those videos. I like coming up with like ideas and then getting a script together. I like the it's more of the I mean, that's the thing with podcasting. I love just, having these conversations, and with making those videos, I love recording the audio, finding, music with it, or if it's a more of a more of a storytelling audio, more of a storytelling podcast. What I like to do is like also get, like a lot of the sounds together. That's why what I've been I do that every once in a while. It's a lot of work, but it's a lot of fun. But that's what I like about podcasting. Like all the other stuff, having to make a thumbnail, it's the least worst things. But shorts and upload it and promote it, and like keep up with the Patreon, keep up with this, keep up with that. Like just everything around it is so much work. But that's why I love platforms like Upbeats, like who are doing the contest for the drone. A lot of the music that I have used in those standalone videos, and a lot of the music that I use, especially like for my intro and outro, a lot of these special effects that I use in my videos, I I got them from that website. Um,
Okay.
it's a really good website for a lot of those things, and that's also part that I like. It's like, oh, in the script, like it says this. What can I find, like, for like an overlay or a sound or a kind of music that like fits with that, like the whole process of getting it all together. I absolutely love. Um, and also like just random sounds. Like I'm doing a Patreon only series where I talk about just things from the Netherlands. 'Cause,
Uh-huh.
I mean, I've been taking my podcast, I mean, quite literally all over the world. But like not focusing on the Netherlands as much. And I was like, well, I need more content for Patreon. Like I need a reason other than like the Esoteric Book Club and just early access to the podcasts for people to subscribe.
Mhm.
So I was like, you know what? I'm just I'm gonna say close to home. And one of the first ones I did was about a haunted house in Dokkum, in Frisia. And like it was so fun, like also getting all the sounds for that together and make them fit in the like in the right places. So when the script says this and I'm saying that, because the script and the audio, they're two different things. There's a lot of cutting and
Uh-huh.
editing and shit going on. But like having it line up and have um the volume just right. Like I want to like that's another thing. Yes, podcasting and making videos is so much work. Like you don't want the audio to go over your voice so that like people are hearing the audio, but like, okay, well, what is actually being said? Like I can hear him faintly in the background, but what is he actually saying? So there's that, and like with a lot of songs that I'm using, like it goes from like kind of soft and it builds up, and then there's just like this spike, when it goes like boom all at
Uh-huh.
once, and it's like, okay, I gotta cut that audio like at that point, and like have those levels even, and it's just so much work. It's a lot of fun, but it's so much work, and it's so much money as well that goes into it. Um,
Yeah.
with like just the subscriptions, and I kind of switched to yearly subscriptions now, uh, just so it doesn't add up at the end of the month.
Oh yeah. I know. And I know that like a year ago, well, a year ago I was preparing myself to go to Peru, but I still had my trailer where I
Mhm.
had all my setup in my little office, and I really liked street noises from a car or from a train or whatever, like a beep, or when you take a cup from a machine that makes this sound, and then I recorded it. And I could, but well, I still can, but I don't have the equipment right now available. But
Mhm.
to put it into my MIDI track, and then the final thought was like, okay, I'm going to purchase myself a DJ equipment so I can put these sounds into that DJ equipment, and I'll make a song out of it. And with that song, I can add it over with my guitar. And the guitar nowadays with the amplifiers and all the pedals that you have, you can make so many sounds. It's like
Oh yeah.
immense, incredible. So, and I was really digging it, and I was doing it live. The funny thing is also that the videos that I posted on my Disorganized Productions YouTube, which are meditation that I made, and some music videos with my own,
Mhm.
my own DJ equipment, and with my own pictures, they are more been viewed than my podcasts. Although
Ah,
I thought like people are, digging my podcast. I'm not complaining at all because I'm going to get a lot of more audience every single time when I'm pushing out an episode.
true.
So, but yeah, the thing to be always in that in for me, it's a Zen moment if I'm doing my positive thinking. My creativity is going to be like level up. It could be early in the morning or
Yeah.
very late at night, but it gives me so much energy to push the shit out. And it's
Yeah.
so cool to see when we were in Amsterdam that we had this click together, also with the things that you're doing and the things that we're learning so much from each other. And we're learning so much from the guests that we have.
Oh man, yeah.
Oh, wow. You were talking just before you hopped on. I was calling Stein like, "Hey, are you ready, man?" And he said like, "Oh shit." He rescheduled, and then he said like, "Oh, dude, I'm at my parents' house because I'm gonna bring them to Skip Hole tomorrow." So, and talking about all the schedules and all the things that's going on, and just a message popped up that I will have another podcast with Odin, which is a guy from TikTok, which is a storyteller, and I love his name.
Oh,
Let's
that's
give
cool, man.
branches to Stein because you know the name Odin, right?
Oh yeah.
Hail to Odin, the All Father. And talking about that, I know you have some expertise in you that I want to talk about in this podcast because
Okay.
we are basically here in the Netherlands. I'm in most part of Limburg, which is a little bit older than the place where you are. But uh, the Germanic tribes have a lot of history here in the Netherlands.
Yeah.
For example, one of the things that we see and which I want to visit is the Hunebedden, the
Yeah.
Hoens, which were also scattered in Germanica, so the old German tribes. But how far does it go back when it comes to the heathen and the people that lived here before the Romans took place?
Um Gosh, that's a good question. Like I think it really goes back um I want to say like at least till round about the last ice age. A bit after that, so let's say probably like 13, 12, 13,000 years. When the um according to more mainstream science, at least there are different theories in that, of course.
Right.
There's the more well-known theory is the Indo-Europeans or the Indo-Aryans, which has nothing to do with the funny mustache man. It's a term way older. Coming from the Indo-European steppe. They were steppe herders. They were um, you know, nomads, really. So I mean, you're about as close. Yeah. No, like actually, uh, and the like Eastern European steppe nowadays would be, I think, like uh Kazakhstan, Georgia, like Asia Minor, like that neck of the woods,
Mhm.
which is still Europe, believe it or not. Um, like we don't associate it with Europe because, like, for most of us, Europe like pretty much ends with or like, in Russia, or like at the Russian border, or like the Balkan, like that's Europe. No, like it goes way further, Kazakhstan, Georgia, going into, I want to say like Armenia is still kind of European. Like it's not European, it's not Asian, it's like the border countries there.
Right.
But they like made their way west, and that's also where you got um
Istanbul, like
the
the
port
Silk.
ware cultures, the bigger cultures, the hunter gatherers. That's those like are our early ancestors.
Right.
They eventually settled in like in and around the Caucasus Mountains, the Caucasus region. That's where you get the term Caucasian from,
Right.
because that is literally where our ancestors came from, or that's really the first place that they actually settled, to the best of my knowledge. Um, and like, of course, later on, over the thousands of years, those became the became the Germanic tribes, the Goths, the Gauls, the Celts. Celts and Gauls are basically the same. And here in the Netherlands, it was actually, the majority of our country was part of Greater Germania. It was just the coastal regions. So let's say from, I think, like pretty much like from Frisia going down the coast, like just a strip. Um, Probably also taking, p- perhaps like just the region where I live at the moment. Like I do live quite coastal,
Right.
like all the way down to like at least Zealand. That was Frisia. Those were the Frisians. Nowadays, of course, it's just one province, but back in those days, thousands of years ago, let's say this was like at least, I want to say like 5,000 plus years ago. Like that was the entire western coast of the Netherlands were the Frisians. All the rest was part of Greater Germania, and it was actually, later on. I don't know exact timelines. I'm very bad with timelines, actually, but it was the Germanic tribes of the Goths, the actual Goths, um, the Visigoths, who conquered Rome. So it was, um, well, let's say that was like between, I want to say like 2,000 plus years ago at the very least.
Mm.
The Germanic tribes conquered Rome. I mean, Rome was already in a very weakened state, a very weakened position. It wasn't the power, the powerhouse of the world, basically, that it was. And they conquered Rome, actually. So, and like the Goths are, they were one of the bigger tribes. They definitely left their their traces here in Europe. Also, like the Goths of the like the subculture that we know now, um, can be related back to the Visigoths. But like you have
Hmm.
those incredibly beautiful Gothic cathedrals, for example, like the Gothic building style, very, very grand.
Right.
That was, from the Goths, the Gothic, really, tribes of Germania. And yeah, the Romans did have a very large foothold in Europe as well. Um,
Mm.
but here in the Netherlands, they really didn't go past the Rhine River because I mean back then it was still a much larger river and very well quite hard to cross as well, and just a natural boundary, a
Yeah,
natural
the land.
border.
The land was much more as we know it here in some regions that are still like Nijmegen or here in Limburg, which is much more forests. And I know that there's a story, the first real assassins like the Black Seals of the Navy SEALs, but then in back in the days were the people from the Gothic tribes that were basically in, I think it was Tutorial Wald, that's in between that's somewhere around there in
The the
Frisia.
the Teutonic tribes, or
Yes,
yeah,
and
yeah,
they
yeah.
slaughtered like what the Germans did in the Ardennes. They did that with the Romans, and the Romans were
Oh,
basically
um,
on a
I know what you're talking about. They ambushed them.
oh yeah a lot. So it
Yeah.
and they had a very nice way of uh, you know the Romans had one problem that normally they had some people that were like checking the fields. I don't get them. So like a spectator or
Yeah,
investigator,
scouts.
scouts. That's the word. Thanks, scouts. But somehow in these deep forests, they couldn't do that. And of course, when you live in a forest for a long time, you know exactly what tree or what where you are. And they
Yeah.
ambushed them a lot. And which is very funny. What I just recognized about what you were saying about the Rhine, if you see like Limburg, which we know now is a province, there's
Mhm.
still a big part of it is in Belgium and still is a big part of Germany. And the funny thing is, the dialect that I speak is very related to all these regions because it's quite a big region. I mean, if you
Yeah.
take that in consideration to the rest of the Netherlands, it's very small pieces of provinces, but the region of Limburg, which was in the early days like the big part of Germanica, that's huge, huge.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And the Limburg dialects, like it can be compared to any other dialect in the Netherlands. Like it is like yeah, indeed. Like it's part Flemish, it's part German, it's part Dutch, it's part everything else. Um and
You know, if we
like
take, sorry, oh man, I love this. If you take, as you said, back in these days, right, when we have these regions and the Romans came and they never crossed the Rhine, um, were the pagans back in that time also worshiper of the Nordic uh, gods? Were they considered as a pagan because they were, having a god for the land and having a god for the fertility, like Freya, having a god of thunder, all that stuff, or were they having a different approach of it's not religion, right? It's a belief system. It's
yeah.
a way of life.
Yeah, no. I do believe that that was in the time when Rome was still pagan.
Mhm.
Um although the term pagan as we know it wasn't a thing back then. I mean
It's
it
invited by the
comes
Romans.
like yeah, it indeed like it comes from the Rome from Latin paganus, paganius, which means like land dweller, or like at the very least a a more derogative term of someone who lives outside of the city. So uncouth, uncivilized, boorish.
Oh
Um
wow, love that.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So I've been told a few times that like I shouldn't use the term pagan to describe myself because it is such a derogatory term. And I'm like, well, I mean, as my wife has told me many times as well, if you don't name it, that's when you give it power. If you avoid the name, that's when you acknowledge that the name has power. So by naming it, by using the term, I'm taking it back. It's my thought
Easier to
process.
explain also. It's easier to explain if people are asking for
Sure.
religion,
Yeah.
which is not. I don't think paganism is a religion. It's a way of life, like the
Yeah.
Druids, like the Gaelic, like the Celts. They had a way of life to connect with Mother Nature in whichever way. They knew when the moon was standing like this and that, now you have to put the crops in the land. Now you have to harvest. All these things is in
Yeah. The
balance with
hunter's
nature.
moon, the harvest moon, the
Right.
like the hare moon, they really get they that was the um yeah, that's when they knew what to sow. It's when they knew when to sow. It's when when they knew to harvest. It's when they like looking at the stars, the position of the stars, and looking at the lands, as above so below. Which really is just it's an ancient concept. It's not even a cult, it's ancient. They knew when the seasons passed, they knew when another year had passed, or however they called it back then, at least. The we went full circle again because time
Right. Yeah,
is
we were living.
cyclical.
Yeah, we were living basically exactly as we should live, with the tempo, with the seasons, with nature. What they try to
Yeah,
do, in my opinion, with religion is to take us off from that perspective, from that way of life, because then they could indoctrinate us with other stuff like, be careful because the gods, and they made up some new gods, are watching you. And I think that you totally, I agree with that. Like what you said in the podcast with Derek Stitt, like, oh, it's the Son of God and it's God and it's Christ. Well, what the hell is it now? I
yeah.
mean, that's what, let's say, the Norse mythology has different kind of views when it comes to religion, because you have multiple gods. Now comes a trigger. This is a great thing. They found, so I did a podcast with Dario Andrella, which is a Spanish, no, sorry, Italian guy, and he has a friend who is translating the old scriptures in the Vatican, and he figured out that Elohim is not one God, but multiple gods.
It's plural. Yeah.
It's plural. So that's what the state, for the lack of a better word, the pagans did. And that's what they wove it into Christianity to give them like a marketing trick to get the people from the land into a religion, because we still have a lot of influences of the northern mythology in our nowadays life. Monday is the
That's
moon. Tuesday
yeah.
is Tyr, the god of war for
Yeah.
Mars. We got Odin on Wednesday, Wodan. Hey, that's Wodan. Here's my dog. That's Wodan. We got Thursday, Thor. We got Friday, Freya. So, and then Saturn and Sunday, which speaks for themselves.
The
But without
the
these
Saturn,
things,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yes,
No,
and without
absolutely.
the pagan rituals like Easter and Christmas, they never been mentioned in the Bible. Because why would you mention something that's against your belief system?
I mean, they were feast days because every ancient culture ever really, they recognized the solstices. They recognized when, a new time was upon us. So yeah, they at least the big four, let's say, winter solstice, spring, summer, autumn. they recognize those. Absolutely. I mean, look outside. If you want to deny them, I mean, you got to be blind, deaf, dumb, not able to feel, whatever. Just like not be alive, basically.
Right.
I don't know, like some vegetable in a hospital bed somewhere. Um, so yeah, they definitely acknowledged it, and they did probably celebrate it. That's why Christmas, for example, why the church it's organized religion. It's not Christianity in of itself, because that really started. It didn't start out um monotheistic. It started out as more of a mystery religion.
Uh-huh.
Because the Christ, the figure Christ that we know, he was rebellious. He was rebelling against the state. He was rebelling against, just any really set
Establishment.
form of government. So I mean, you could say like Christ was more like, more like Che Guevara than like your peace loving hippie.
Oh yeah,
That's quite
absolutely.
the comparison to make. um, but no, it's the return of the sun as UN. Because after the winter solstice at like the 21st, that's when the days grow longer again, and the Romans already had their feast day of Saturnalia on the 25th. So in the 12 days of Yule, the 12 days of Christmas, because even back, I want to say like 100 years ago, maybe less, there were actual
Huh?
12 days of Christmas, and not just the two that we get now.
Okay.
Maybe that's why the song is like, on the first day of Christmas, and then like all the way down to the 12th, because there were 12 days of Christmas, because those are the
Oh,
12 days of Yule, starting at the summer solstice and usually ending around the 6th of January. Um, where was I going with this? So yeah, so of course, Jesus or Christ, the Christ figure, being the light in the world, that is his birth. Like that is when, light came back into this world. But because the church, the dogmatic religious organization, known as the church, or the Catholic Church, Christian Church, Vatican, basically, or what became the Vatican, they um personified it. They made it into like an actual physical story, like something that actually happened. And I'm not saying that it never happened. I'm not saying that the figure of Christ never existed. I'm sure he did. But not in the way that the books, that the dogma tells us that he does. And that's why, like we still celebrate Easter with spring, because like it's a fertility feast. That's when nature comes back to life. That's why
that's
we
my
use
new
the
year.
symbolism of the egg to represent
Mm,
fertility. That's why we use bunnies, because breeding like bunnies. I mean, come
yep.
on. Um, so like, but that's ancient. That's pagan, if you will. So it's really odd for the church, the organized religion, to use such ancient imagery. Again,
Uh-huh.
also with the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. It's the Holy Trinity. Like they call it the
Right.
Holy Trinity, but like there are so many other Holy Trinities. Even Odin himself, Wotan himself, was part of what you could call a Holy Trinity. That's also where we get the where we get the symbol from, like the triangles. What is it again? The Valknut.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Supposedly that is like it's basically three V's, which stands for Voden, Vili, and Ve, the three brothers that created our world out of the body of the primordial ice giant Ymir. And it was Woden, Woden, Wodan, Wotan, Odin. He is the one that, or with his brothers, they gave us life. They created us. They breathed life into us. So that story is still the same. Like that's basically also the Adam and Eve story. But that's what so many other religions, so many other spiritual paths, belief systems, they all have an origin story, basically having to do with man is created, either by the gods or through the gods, or we're all part of we all have a divine divine spark in us. Um, we all have a flood myth. Like, name me one culture around the world that doesn't have a flood myth. I don't know of any. Not that I know all the cultures in the world, but the ones that I do know of, they have a flood myth. It's just in Germanic mythology, it's during Ragnarok, during the battle of the gods. Um, and also it's another funny thing. If you the symbolism, fucking love symbolism. When you think about the Germanic creation story, basically, or how our world came into being. If we were talking about the voids, Ginnungagap, is what it's called. It was the realm of primordial ice, Muspelheim, and realm of primordial fire, Niflheim, came together in Ginnungagap, in the void. It's basically like two circles coming together. And what do you get? You get the Vesica Pisces. And what is the
Uh-huh.
Vesica Pisces? It's also female bits. So,
Right.
it's the want to keep somewhat clean. I know it's just biology. I know, but
It's
I know
disorganized
how that goes.
production. It's a vagina.
Your show.
You see? Yeah, 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 yeah.
So it was
I mean,
through the, like, you could say the this sounds really weird. I've never described it like this before, but the primordial vagina that our world was birthed, really.
right, right. So, and there's so many things that I digged into because of my interest into this stuff, and I really like the symbolic things like the runes, which we discussed, and if people that are listening like that, listen to the show that Stein has with Zeralath. I had a show with Zeralath too.
Yeah, man.
He knows everything about runes. Dude, my car's name's Ragnar. I called him that, and Ragnar and me we're going on a path of adventure. But I figured out not that long ago what the letters mean. And if you ask, well, for example, ChatGPT or Google, what does the rune signature of Ragnar means? It's lining up exactly how my life is right now, with the adventure and with the quest, with the, well, call it wisdom, or the things that I want to give to the world. It's so it's lining up for me perfectly. And I know that you have on the 1st of April. What do you do then, Stein? On the 1st of April, April Fool's Day. What do you do?
Um, I mean, it's the return of spring. That's when we're right past the solstice. It's when in the region here, that's when all the flowers come back to life. It's when the flower fields start blooming.
Kind of like a new year.
I mean, yeah, that's on the solstice. Yeah, that's the spring equinox.
So I don't know if you are the same, having the same opinion. So I think, no, I think I'm not thinking. I know that we have 13 moons in 1 year. If you see the moon cycles, it's 28 days, the same as a cycle of a woman.
Yeah.
So if you count these days together, you have 364 days. And there's one day, which has a normal year, 365. What is that day? That's the beginning of a new year. Because if you go out on the 31st of December to wish each other Happy New Year, it's cold, it's windy, it's foggy, it's a fucked up thing outside. There's no life outside, it's dark, it's
Yeah.
only black and white. But if you go out like I do as a pagan or a druid or whatever you're going to call it, on the 1st of April, the birds are singing, everything is turned to green, flowers are blooming. Uh, that's this real celebration that they don't want us, and that's also a part of the propaganda and the indoctrination, in my opinion, that not only the church but the three C's. So I heard that you called that on STID, and I was thinking about it today when I was listening to the episode. Basically, the world has been ruled by three C's. That's the church, that's the capital, and that's the cunt, the vagina. These three things rule the world. Well,
Yeah, not gonna lie. Yeah.
But the thing is, since I've been lining up with this belief system, like I am the God itself. I got a God particle. I am basically Jesus Christ. And we can shine our light when we do the right things. We can shine our light to the world, and the world will see it. But
Yeah.
that's a little bit the Bible story. But since I've been lining up with the runes and with the mythology and all that stuff, it all comes together for me. It all is like, wow, this is really exactly for me how it is and how it feels right.
Because that's actual nature. That is how we are supposed to be living. It's how we have lived for thousands and thousands of years. You know, I mean, if you want to go back that far, hundreds of thousands of years, even.
Right.
Like
Yeah,
especially
because
with the natural cycles, like you mentioned before, like especially around this time of year, at least at the northern hemisphere, it's we're halfway through September. It's about 9 p.m. It's dark already. So yeah, it's only natural that your body is like, hey, it's dark. There really are no more things that we can do in the dark because we're not able to see in the dark, or not as well as certain animals are, like my cats, for example. And
wow.
also in the dark there are predators. Like there are, like, just overall in the world there are predators, and because we don't see as well in the dark, those predators, they do. So we don't see
Right.
them, but they see us. Therefore, dark is dangerous. So it's better to just stay indoors, stay in a safe environment away from predators, whether it be in a cave, somewhere high up, a hut, a home, whatever, a safe environment, you know, um, get rest, because your body needs to rest, needs to recharge, and it does that best. Like, what's the best time to do that? Well, when all the other scary beings are outside and we can see them. So when the sun comes up again, it's like, okay, we're rested, and now we can see what is out there. We can go hunt, we can go scavenge, we can go, you know, gather, we can see the predators, so we know either to, I don't know, like, be the bigger predator, or just, run the fuck away. Um so yeah, that's only natural. And like you said it already, like by 9 p.m., 10 p.m., your body is just like, okay, it's just, time to wind down, time to relax. And it is indeed, artificial light, and especially blue light from our computers, from our phones,
Yeah.
um, that is keeping us awake artificially. But that's not natural. It's not our natural rhythm. I mean, oh, are those like those are the
Yes.
the uh the blue light blockers? Oh, nice, man. Good stuff.
Yes. These are the orange things. So it's really funny because I got a light which is very bright LED light, but now it's yellow. So I look like
Just
Ali G now, so that's why I don't wear them normally. And but I will wear them probably when I'm going to edit the podcast.
yeah. Now you
The
just need to
thing
do
is, yeah,
regular
just like you
tracksuit.
said, yeah. But um, I figured something out while I was in LA with Milton. I got this. I did a lot of meditation before I went to LA in Arizona, in the middle of the desert, and in Sedona. And I figured out the 369 way of life. And what I mean with that is, if I take a power nap, if I'm on the road, I'm a lot on the road for my job. And when I feel a little bit tired, I put the car aside on this parking spot. I put the alarm clock in 30 minutes.
Yeah.
I swear to God, I do my little meditation. I fall asleep, or I just being blocked off from all the influences that I have normally on my net on
Sure.
my eyesight. So so after 30 minutes, alarm clock's ringing. I'm open up my eyes. I start the car and I drive because I'm fit again. So it's 30 minutes, 60 minutes, or 90 minutes, which is normally a very good spot. And
Mhm.
that's what a lot of people do when they have, like long shifts, like crab fishers and stuff like that. They have like,
Mm.
yeah. So they take a nap for 30, 60, or 90 minutes. But it goes farther than that. Let's say at 9 o'clock at night, I go to sleep for 9 hours. It's 6 o'clock in the morning when I wake up.
Yeah.
So 6 o'clock. Take down another 9 hours or another 6 hours, another 3 hours. It all lines up perfectly with 6, 3, and 9 all the time. If you are into that kind of rhythm, it suits you very well because even with a little bit of sleep, you still have the most potent volume of sleep or rest as what you need.
Oh, I like it. Now I'm also thinking, like, if we're just counting, um I mean, it makes it 18 hours. It's a little off perhaps. But like 3 hours of like very intensive hard work. That's also what I noticed with like physical training, for example. Like I can do 3 hours. Like I'm absolutely fucking done after 3 hours. Like that's absolute max. So, like 3 hours of, just hard work, real intensive, whatever, then 6 hours of like maybe some, mild work, or just um, like for example, if you do like hunting, gathering, whatever, go as hard as you can for 3 hours, prep everything for, the remaining 6, then like rest and sleep for 9, because I that's also one thing that I don't really understand, is like, so what's really pushed on us is like 8 hours of sleep. Like you need 8 hours of sleep. Usually, like I feel a little better with like 9 hours of sleep, or like a little past 8 hours of sleep, because that's when my body has a natural tendency to wake up. Like 8 hours of
Yes.
sleep, I need to set an alarm. But like
Right?
after 9 or so hours, my body is like, yeah,
Waking up.
yeah, we're good. We're good. And then
And I swear,
I need a bit to get going. If I like really want to take my time and get everything nice and prepared. If I can, I do take like 3 hours, just, you know, wake up, then like don't like hop out of bed immediately and go do stuff. No, like you wake up, go slow, take your time, shower, or as my dad likes to say, shower, shit, and shave. Um,
Right.
love you, dad.
I do my intentions every single day
Yeah.
when I wake
So
up. I'm yeah.
so then
Try
you
to
can
do
like you
that.
can take if you have the time, like you can take those 3 hours to, like wake up, do your meditations, do your shower, shit, and shave, have your breakfast, then you can, then you can do the work for a good 6 hours. And you can do that, with the podcast or my videos or whatever. It's a full day usually that I'm working on it. Then like 9 hours, in those 9 hours you can, you can rest, you can do the things that you want to do. And then you have, well, then you still have a bit of free time left and you can choose whatever to do with it. So I do believe that, 3, 6, and 9, now that you're mentioning it, like my brain gets working. Like it could
Good.
also be like just the hours in a day that we're supposed to do something, like from, like very like either take it slow then intensive to like build off, or like start intensive, a little less intensive, and then like take it easy. I do feel that there's something in the natural rhythm about that as well.
Yeah, and especially if you take these 8 hours for consideration. They're not natural. They take you off the REM sleep. So you're basically waking up in the middle of your sleep.
Yeah.
If you take that instead of, let's say you can sleep 9 hours because of work. If you take 6 hours, your body is waking up already because you got these flows in sleep, right? So you got a very fast sleep and you have a very
Yeah.
light sleep and you have your dream state. That's why I love when I'm waking up. I know that I still have more than an hour before I have to go to work. I just take 10 to 15 minutes with my eyes closed, still in this dream state, like what do I want to achieve today? Where am I grateful for? Like the little things.
Yeah.
Not like I want to have this or want to have that. No, I have a perfect car. Thank you for that. I have the freedom to work. I have the ability and the strength and the help to work. That brings in money. I'm very grateful for that. Or that gives me new networking contacts. I'm very grateful for that. I got the knowledge and the time to do whatever I want with the podcasting, with the editing. I figure stuff out. I like to be, you know, learning things. But I'm also grateful, like, wow, when I step out of the car, it didn't rain anymore, so I can take a pee without getting wet. Because if you're living in a
Yeah.
car, you don't go to well, you go to the toilet, but it's the world is a stage,
It's a little different.
and the world's my garden too. And basically, it's my home. So, but these little things, and the other day it was starting to rain here in the Netherlands after a very long period of sun,
Yeah.
and we were living in the Netherlands, so people were complaining. I was thinking, like, how much um, grateful the trees and the birds and all the flora and fauna was living up because there was finally some water. And
After the long summer that we've had.
we had, it was Tropicana El Hollandia. Dude, we had temperatures over 30 degrees, multiple strokes. I don't
Yeah.
have wings, you know that.
Yeah,
You're
yeah,
like,
yeah.
wow. I don't know about you, but when I was a child and I was went to school with my bike, with my push bike, it was in the summertime, it was still like 14, 15 degrees in the morning, which was really frisky. And
Yeah.
then afternoon, maybe the temperatures were rising till 21, 23, 25 degrees was like
I think
that was
25. was like already considered like, you better stay in or you're gonna burn to a crisp.
Right.
I were
I
getting
was
like we've had a
35.
yeah, like we've had a few summers where we're up to like 30, 35, and like I used to be a chef, used to be a cook. And especially in the summers, like, I worked a lot of beach clubs. I worked a lot of catering, a lot of outdoor catering. Holy shit, man. Like I remember one summer I was working at a beach club. I mean, just because, there's always work there in the summer and it's, especially if you're freelance, it's good money. Um, like well, I lost sweat faster than like I could drink the water. And like I remember just like especially the first day, I didn't go to the bathroom for the entire day because whatever I drank, I sweat out just like pretty much right away.
Right.
And that's become, more normal than it used to be. Yeah. Like now
So
that I
I
think
was
of
in,
it, I do remember like a few hot summers, but never like this.
no, so I was in Sedona this year, Arizona, in the middle of the desert. And when I came home, and it was, so when I was in Flagstaff, uh, there was snow. I never thought about snow in America, but that was probably my little vision of America. Because of course you got the region upside with the Rocky Mountains and stuff like that.
Yeah,
When I
yeah,
landed in when I landed in New York, there was snow all over the place. So yes, okay, I got it. East Coast, New York, Detroit, all that stuff. It's cold. But when it was in Sedona, Arizona, you don't think it's cold, but it was like really, really cold that night. And eventually, I got a picture from Donna. I think a strong after I was back home
yeah.
from cactus with snow because it was snowing in the desert. So,
Okay.
yes, you have the elevation because Flagstaff is higher up, so it's colder. But like getting snow in Arizona, like what? Oh,
Yeah, but
so
that's
it's
like
shifting.
yeah, but that's also a thing about the desert that is so incredibly interesting because there is no real vegetation there to like either suck up the heat or um you know like beat out the cold. So yeah, like
Right.
in during the day, in certain places, certain deserts, I've been fortunate enough to travel a lot with my parents already. So we spent at least one night with the Bedouin in Jordan. And that was really cool.
Wow.
That was really cool. And during the day, like yeah, it got hot. Like I'm talking 35, 40, at least. But at night, clear skies, just I mean, incredibly beautiful, first of all. But it got really, really cold because there's also nothing to trap the heat. There's nothing to fight the cold. Well, it's sand. And sand doesn't I mean the top layers, yeah, but go past the top layer, there's nothing there. And it's
Yeah,
it's
this
so
is a
it's so
reminder.
weird.
This is a reminder for everyone who wants to travel the world, and please do. Um, if you go to a desert, never ever put food on the ground. Like, oh, I just peel an orange or an apple and I'm gonna leave it here because it's gonna stay there forever.
Yeah.
Because we here have critters like rats and mice and all that stuff that picks up the food. In the desert, it's gonna stay there forever.
Yeah.
And it's such a so yes, that it was getting cold in the desert for sure, but that it's going to snow in the desert, and we have this really strange things happening all over the world. I think it was last year when it snowed in Florida. Like, dude, people were just like I'm in the state of Florida and it's snowing. If there's something that you know, like, oh, you want to go to nice sunny weather, go to Florida, right?
Like, it
No,
is literally the sunshine state.
that's a sunshine state with 20 centimeters of snow. Like, what the hell is
Yeah,
doing this? You know,
yeah,
but
no,
that's
that's
I think it's a very normal pattern from Mother Gaia,
yeah,
Mother Earth.
it's a
But
cycle. We're coming at the end
every
of a cycle.
yes, but everything they want to put us up with their let's call it an agenda, whatever the fuck, is from the things that you don't know. You can or you don't see it, or it's just always been around, and they can use it as a claim for their
Yeah.
stupidity.
Like, especially
It's
with the like the rising of the sea, rising of the ocean and whatever. Dude,
yeah,
we're Dutch. Like,
yeah,
half of our country is below sea level. If the
yeah.
sea level would have risen as much as they kept telling us for the last 40, 50 years as it would, um the town that I live in, like, it's very coastal. I mean, we're not like at the coast, but like go 1, 2 towns over, we're at the beach. Um, I wouldn't be able to live there, or I, you know, would be forced to become a aquatic human.
Yeah. Well, not only that, think about the insurance and the banks. So let's say you want to have a loan of, let's say the house in the Netherlands are crazy right now, like 500,000 euros for a stupid house in a coastal line. Do you think that the insurance companies and the banks want to take a risk if that's going to be flooded?
Oh hell no.
No. And a lot of people do not know, Stein, that uh, probably one fifth or maybe one sixth of the Netherlands wasn't there 40, 50 years ago. They dried up
We
the sea.
we created an entire province back in the, what is it, the 70s?
Yeah, I
We
think it was the
created an
70s,
entire
something like that.
province. Like, we decided we need more land. So we created more land.
Yeah, man. Finally, it's good that we're good at it. So we have one really big flooding problem in 53 or 52. Uh,
53 in Zeeland.
yeah, 53, Zeeland. Yeah. So there was a dike that broke, and it was not a girl; it was a real dike. Sorry for that. Um, but it flooded like I think almost a quarter of the Netherlands. But yes, just
Oops.
like you say, so we got NAP level, which is called New Amsterdam level, translated, a New Amsterdam spell,
Yeah.
which is basically the sea level, and
Like, that's the
everything
0 point, basically.
that's a 0 point. Yeah, yeah, and we're most cities, especially where you live in that region, are under sea level. So if the
A,
sea is
a
really
good
gonna
few
do,
meters. Yeah.
yes, not like, oh, you're gonna have dry feet. No, no, the whole fucking
No,
city is
like,
gonna
if
drown.
if the dikes break, like, yeah, like you said, like, it's not just, oh, I better get my, you know
No.
better get my boots. It's just like, oh, got wet feet. No, it's like, if shit's gonna break here, fucked.
Oh,
I mean,
oh yes.
good thing I know how to swim, but I'm
Oh,
I'm gonna have to
so
move, quite literally,
so
because my house would be just gone.
yeah, gone, gone. In the region where I live, which is much more south, we have the Maas and the river, and that's going to be flooded every single, well, a few years. I've been working in a place called Venlo back in the 90s, and it's the Maas flooded, and the whole city of Venlo, and not only Venlo, but all the cities that are basically on the shoreline of the river, they're flooded, like the cellars and all that stuff. Dude, that's a
Oh,
that's a big
yeah.
problem, man.
Yeah, 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 no, it
Because you
is.
can't stop water when it's rising. Maybe it's more devastating that, well, it's just as devastating as fire. I mean, you both almost, well, you
I mean,
can't clear water.
they're equal opposite forces. I'd say fire is really fast. Like the damage it does is just, it's there and it's gone and everything is just fucking done.
Right.
Water leaves it's also very destructive, like if a wave comes crashing in, but
Look at the
it
tsunami.
the damage afterwards and like over the years is greater. So it's longer lasting, I'd say, with water. So that in that way they're like equal opposite forces, both as destructive, but in a very different way. Because like as everybody knows who like went out for a swim or has made a campfire or a bonfire or whatever, fire leaves nothing, like
No.
nothing. Anything that it can use as fuel, it'll use as fuel, and all that is left is ashes. But like if a dam or a dike or whatever breaks and the water comes flooding in, it's a it's a mess. It is an
Oh, it's
absolute
so
mess.
strong. You can't. So you could stop a fire, but you can't stop water.
No,
Can't stop. Well, we got the sand sacks to build a little dike to prevent from coming in, but when it's
yeah, but
rising
that's
from 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 under, you're not going to stop it. And it's really funny, because they're opposites attract, of course. So you can put out fire with water, and you can evaporize water with fire.
yeah.
Did you
Yeah,
know you have
and like
these
how
on
they
your
how they do it
hat?
at the like the big forest fires, they literally fight fire with fire, but they
Yeah,
control it. Like they control burn certain pieces like in front of the fire, like where the major fire hasn't come yet. So they create like a natural border really where the fire
yeah,
stops because
a tra.
there is no fuel there anymore.
Yeah, that's why they build forests here, which are, I think it's not that big, so it's like 15% of the Netherlands has forests. If you look in the overall 15%, which is quite big for a country, to be honest with, for a little country that we have. But the thing is, they built like these uh, um, roads, call it roads. They called it tra, so the fire can't skip over. Just
Oh
like you
yeah,
said,
yeah.
there's no fuel, so it's eventually depends on how the how everything goes with the wind, of course, with all the
Mhm.
elements. But yeah, it's really fascinating how the Netherlands has been built off, and what kind of history that the Netherlands has been going through,
Yeah,
and especially when we see what's happening right now, because the people that are generations long taking care of this land and providing almost the whole world of food, they want to get these people off, the farmers, which is of
mhm,
course a little bit of political thing, but that's also the little power thing that we talked about before, like the Vatican and the indoctrination of religions
yeah,
and all that stuff. And what we see right now on the world stage is like, grab your beer and your popcorn and enjoy the show, because it's such a big fuck up. If you can see through the lies right now, you're basically just like, you know, yeah, what did you say in the beginning? Like a vegetable in the hospital, right? Just
yeah,
like,
yeah,
what the hell is going on with you people? If you don't figure out now that are, it's the end of times of the called the devil or whatever, because a lot of
yeah.
people are
Like
waking up.
that's the thing with like so many religions, so many belief systems. That's It's literally how I started my podcast with a few roundtables on Ragnarok and like the end times and the different like religions or religious books and all of that. Um, it's a hell of a way to kick off a podcast, by the way. Um, Like, I'm gonna start a podcast and like just do hour-long roundtables where I get everyone together. It's like,
Right. And look at us
like
now.
the longest I did was 6+ hours. Like, it was the whole night for
Wow.
me. Yeah, man.
Holy shit, dude. I
And I
think
did
mine was
like I
three and a
didn't
half
have
hours.
like the proper setup that I do now. With I mean, I'm now in my dad's study. Um, but like now at home, like I have like the the gaming chair that every good streamer has. I have like a good mic and a good cam and all of that. No, I was working with fucking bare minimum. Like, I had my laptop. I don't think I even had like a separate webcam. Like, I was using the webcam from
On the
my
camera.
my
Yeah,
laptop
for laptop.
and like
Yeah.
what was it, like a 30 euro mic or something that I plugged into my laptop with just this shitty USB cable.
Right.
Wooden chair, like just wood, straight wood. I could put a cushion on it, but it's after 6 hours, like, oh God, oh my, oh my ass.
Right.
That's how I
And then that's
started my show. That's how I started doing this, man.
oh man, I recognize a lot of things because yeah, I started the same thing and but then I had all the gear and I still got the gear, but my gaming chair is now every single day suited with my nephew or my niece who are playing on uh not on my Xbox, but on an Xbox that I did.
Yeah,
So it had so many hours of work and now I got it all very compact and thanks to technology that I can do it with my cam and thanks to all the sponsors of my show that allow me to do this. Shout out to Yoast who provided me this phone because he said, dude, you need to have like the capacity to get your content out on a good, you know, somehow valuable way and the
yeah,
things that I was running with, not with my computer, that was quite slow, but it was quite good, when it comes to the quality.
yeah.
Now, of course, on Rumble, probably some people will not look at me because it's like 640 or something like because it's the phone that's recording. But the thing is, we still can do this while we're here with really the minimum. This is just my phone. This is a LED light, and I'm sitting in the best chair ever. It's a leather chair from Volvo. I mean, come on.
Oh
But the
shit,
thing
man,
is,
that's good shit.
oh yeah, my car goes through walls, man. This is I love Ragnar. So, but the thing is, if you take in consideration that like 20 years ago, if you would talk to someone who was doing podcasts or doing music and doing his own production or videos, that would be a producer, right?
I
Like
mean,
someone with a lot of money 20
yeah,
years ago. I
20
mean,
years ago
now when
you had talk radio, or like at best maybe 20 years ago, back in my teens, like you had like pirate radio, perhaps.
audio of Veronica,
Yeah, that's how it got started. That's for sure.
yeah,
Yeah, true pirates. Um, way out in international waters. Like
uh,
that was like
maybe
that
not
was
20
that was
years ago,
true pirate
but
radio. But no, that
yeah,
was like 20 years ago, and it was.
no, no, it's longer. So at 25 now, I think that Radio
Yeah, I mean,
Veronica on the sea, when they were real pirates, it was like in the 70s, I think.
70s, 80s, yeah, something like, yeah, 70s,
Yeah,
I
so
believe.
it's
Yeah.
40 years already. It's oh man, time is just a human construct, but it's still flying. And it's really funny.
Goes
Um,
faster as well. Like, it's been proven. My wife actually told me that the other day, that like a over the, I don't know how many years, I have to ask her again, but over like a uh I was I believe it was like 10 maybe 20 years, like a second no longer takes a second. It's shorter.
oh,
Time actually goes faster now.
so is
I mean,
that
we're
what they
talking
mean
like,
with the end
w-
of times?
yeah, I mean, we are there. We are at, you know, we are in the Kali Yuga. We are in the spiritual Iron Age, if you will. This is the apocalypse, but like the literal apocalypse, the lifting of the veil, not the end. I mean, yeah,
Yes, the
the
age
end
of
of the world as we
Aquarius.
know it, like not the physical
Yes.
end, like Hollywood's death and destruction.
No,
Um,
no. The age of Aquarius, chaos creates harmony, is right now, and
yeah.
we're in the middle of the eye of the storm. In the
Oh
middle,
God,
you
yeah.
can see it everywhere. And it's really funny that you brought it up because it's not. It's the thing is, I saw someone who posted something and it's really intriguing me, and it's really interesting. So we were talking about before the 369 and
Yeah.
how unnatural the times are that we have to work and stuff like that.
Mm,
You know why? And it's really, really, it was mind blowing. There's only daytime right now from like 7 o'clock in the morning when the sun comes up until maximum 8:30, and then the sun comes down. That's
yeah.
one day. Because the night, just like you described a few seconds ago, is we can't do anything. Normally we have to rest or, have a
Yeah.
conversation with
Not
two people.
nighttime is
And
not work time. Nighttime is
no, you can.
rest.
But
Nighttime
if
is
you, yes, but if you take to encounter or to the equation that, okay, so our daytimes is from 6 to, let's say, 9 for the example, is 12 to 13 hours. If you would put up 8 hours of work in that daytime, you would say, like, what the hell? I'm not going to divide my whole day for 80% of work. But because they took the night with it, they say, but you got 24 hours in a day, so it's only 8 hours of work.
yeah. And
Well,
especially
screw that.
back when I used to work in the kitchen, like those were like, sometimes 13, 14 hour days if I was like very unlucky. Especially in the winter. Like I'd go to work when it was still dark and I'd come
Yes.
home when it was dark.
Yes.
Like
But
there
with
were
the
times that
constant
I barely saw any, daylight, like
sunlight,
maybe
yes,
like way back in the kitchen, like through the windows in front of the restaurant, but that was about it. And like
that's not normal.
and
That's
even now
why
with
they
my
invented.
yeah, even now
That's
with
why
my
they
my current
invented
job,
the
yeah, oh yeah, for sure. Like with my current job, I have to um like have to be um well, because I work in a penitentiary, so like I still have to go through like the metal detector and X-ray and whatever. So they say, like if you really want to be in time, be there at 6:30 in the morning. Like I'm not a morning person anyway, which is going to be hella fun because tomorrow, as you said at the beginning of the show, I'm taking my parents to the airport, so we have to get up at 4:15. I know. I hate it already. But like especially like in the summer times, I mean, I still hate it because it's way too early. But then at least, it's light when I wake up and it's like the sun is like pretty much like up when I get to work. I'm noticing now already, like, and I was starting to notice that in August already. Like it was still, dark, semi-dark when I got up. And like, the sun came up as I went to work. Now it is still dark when I get to work.
yes.
And that's it doesn't feel right. And also like, the thing is, the 8 hour workday, 8 hours of sleep, they figured like, well, a day, like an entire day, etmaal, as we say in the Netherlands.
Yeah.
No, it's 24 hours. So, like you got 8 hours of sleep, you got 8 hours of work, and then you still have like 8 hours of do whatever the fuck you want.
Right.
What they don't take into account is, for example, like travel to work.
Oh,
Like, I mean, I only have to. have to drive like a half hour to work. But to and back, that's already an hour. And that goes like off the 8 hours of free time that I have. Then I still, I want to get out of my work clothes. So, you know, that's what, another 15 minutes, 30 minutes.
Yeah,
Like
let's say in half an hour with
I
showering,
need to
half an
unwind
hour.
from work, get into my normal clothes and whatever. And like, also
Yes.
imagine all the people that, yeah, they've already worked 8 hours, but then they're, it's expected from them that if something comes up, they work like another 1 or 2 hours at home. So that takes the
Right.
workday from 8 hours to, 9, 10 hours, and they do whatever the fuck you want to 6 hours. And in those hours, you got to spend time with your family. Maybe you have, I don't know, like
Cooking.
you gotta walk the dog. You gotta do your
Mm.
groceries, your laundry, your washing, your cooking, whatever. That's still like work, but it's housework. But it's still work. Like you're not doing nothing. So take
Right.
all of that into consideration and like, what do you have left? 4 hours?
Oh,
Maybe?
don't complain. We pay you for the bullshit.
Golf. I don't care. I
That
don't care. Free time is free
it's
time. If I'm home, I'm home. I don't care. Oh, but
well,
if
that's
this comes up,
that,
we expect you. No, no.
no,
If I have to do
the
this
thing
like
is,
outside of work, fucking pay me for it.
we had it was, I think, back in the 90s, we had uh a thing that's called that it was a plan that they wanted to roll out, and it was like to um, get rid of all the traffic jams in the Netherlands because it's hell, especially where you live in the area.
Oh
It's like
God,
if
yeah,
you
and
have like a
fast.
50-minute drive, if you have to go to Schiphol at like 7 o'clock, be there, forget it. 8 o'clock,
I mean,
you're
like
screwed. Nine
also that,
o'clock,
like
you're
take that into consideration. If it's like an hour,
yes.
you know,
So the thing is, they wanted to introduce flexible working times. So you can get there at 6 o'clock until 9 o'clock at work. So you have basically some people say, like, I want to be early at work. Some people have to drive their kids to school and then go to work. So you have less people on the road that are stuck to go to the 9 to 5 job because that's
yeah,
what it's called, a 9 to 5 job. Here comes the thing. Back in the 90s, they did not have the technology as they have now. And the big companies said, like, we can't control that, and it's too expensive for the people that are taking care of the salaries to figure out who was in the right place on the right time and how many hours that they made.
I mean,
So they skipped that. So
yeah,
that's where we're all stuck from 7 o'clock in the morning until, let's say, 8:30 with fully roads. And the same thing goes from 5 o'clock until 7 sometimes. And
yeah.
do not take in consideration the road works that they have right now on the
Uh,
biggest roads that connects everything in the
yeah,
Netherlands.
especially here on the like the A4 A44 highway, which is like the main artery. It's like it goes
Right.
from Amsterdam to The Hague, which is like it's only like one of the major arteries in the entire Randstad.
Yes. And they took some works now on the A60 76 from let's say from well basically from Venlo to Eindhoven.
A major
A73
artery.
sometimes is stuck too. Yes. So they want us to be on time. And what I figured out, Stein, I don't know if you have the same perception about that. Every single time when we go into like a vacation mode or a holiday mode, that everybody's going to be on holiday, they break up all the fucking roads. Like, oh, you have a good time with your kids in the car, and they're complaining and whining. Are we already there? And they have the traffic jams all over the place.
Yeah, but that is also there is a good reason for that, and it's not just to bully us. Not just to bully us. That has to be part of it for sure. But it's like whenever well, the Dutchies, we love to bully each other.
Right.
Especially when we get paid to do it.
Yeah.
But like when everyone is on vacation, when like the half of the Netherlands is in the south of France, because I mean, where else will we be? It's
Right,
like it's France or Spain. That's pretty much it. Or the camping. Um,
right.
but like that, then there are a lot less people on the road, and I've noticed that. I worked throughout the summer, and yeah, there were a lot less people on the road, so you have more time and more space to work on the roads. That is, it's that's at least I think that is the thought pattern. But yeah, to do it like right when the summer break starts, like, oh, you're going on vacation. Good luck.
Right. And for people listening at home that do not picture this, the Netherlands is a country which is basically 41,000 kilometers, square kilometers. So that's like 35,000 square miles with 18 million people on it. I mean, if you are in America, like,
Most of them here in the like the economic triangle, so Amsterdam,
yeah,
Utrecht, Rotterdam, like the region that I live in, and
yes,
I live in like a nice part of that part of the country.
right, right. So, Stein, where can people find you? Where are you on what channels, and what are you doing in your spare time except doing podcasts? No, where can people
What
find you
spare
or
time?
contact you?
Yeah, no, the main channel, of course, that I'm active on is my YouTube channel. That is youtube.com/at Steinfox. Social media wise, it is instagram.com um /Greyhorn Pagans. It's best to contact me on the Greyhorn Pagans account. Telegram, just look up Greyhorn Pagans, look up Steinfox. You're guaranteed to find me. And if that is too much information, and like, oh, all the different platforms, just go to the websites www.greyhornpagans.com. Everything is on there, and if it's not on there yet, then at least it will have a link that'll link through.
Right, I'm going to put that in the show description. I think that's the easiest part for
It's
people
yeah,
to
for
connect to
sure.
you, to see the
And
stuff.
yeah, the podcast, Greyhorn Pagans podcast, um, videos, the video part of it every Saturday. I mean, like not every Saturday anymore. There will be more. I have to schedule, and I have like a lot of people who started scheduling themselves on the show all of a sudden.
Oh,
I
wow.
actually have a very interesting one Friday. This Friday, at time of recording, I'm gonna have a like an actual Freemason on. So that's really that's gonna be awesome.
Oh, that's
Um,
nice.
yeah. So that is every Saturday. I'm kind of experimenting with some new times, but definitely every Saturday on YouTube. Every Tuesday on the audio platforms.
Wow. Busy, busy, busy. Um,
That's just the channel and the podcast, and I still have a full-time job. Aside from all of it, working at the penitentiary.
well, we're shredding it, man. And I think as I think it goes the same for you. I I got a lot of things that I have to do in my personal life or business life or whatever, but I got so much energy about the things that I'm doing, the creation that I can do. I never look back at what I created because that's gonna stop me because then I'm gonna procrastinate and have anxiety. I want to be perfectionist. It's never gonna be
Yeah.
perfect. What I think is gonna be perfect within let's say one day of editing, some people would say like, oh, that was shitty. And then I'll put something out like on my phone, just like here it is, like, wow, that was amazing. Like, fuck, why do I spend? So it's just I just
I
put it
know.
out. And again, I think I'm not thinking. No, stop thinking, Rob. That do that in your free time. I know that if you give creators, little creators, creative creators like me and Stein, or Stein and me, better said, the opportunity to do the stuff that we're doing right now with better equipment, and we're going to have more beneficial income from that.
Yeah.
That will change the world, not only for us, but also for the people too. For sure. For
That's
sure.
that's why I've been doing more on Patreon. That's why I've been making more Patreon exclusive podcasts. That's why I've done, a few exclusive episodes for the Grammar Pagans podcast. Like I love creating, but also I'm really trying to build my Patreon at the moment, because that is just because as I said like at the beginning, YouTube doesn't let me monetize my channel. So it
Right.
is through Spreaker, the main podcast host that I'm using. I'm making a little bit of money, but most of it is gonna have to come from Patreon or my merchandise, and my merchandise isn't selling. So that's why
Same here.
Patreon.
Same here. I'm just figuring out how to start up an OnlyFans account just to get the money in to do this podcast. Oh, that my battery is draining. That's why I wanted to, well, not closing off and just like that, because first of all, I want to thank you. I want to thank you for hopping on Disorganized Productions time. I'm going to share this episode so you can put it on
Yep.
your platform too. I think that's the best collaboration that we can have. I think we touched base on so many great topics. I hope you had a great time too.
Always, man. Always.
Good, good, good. And for all the listeners out there, if you want to know more about me or Stein, I'm going to put the links in the show description. You can find me in this on disorganizedproductions.com, and the new website is up and running, holisticcarnomad.com, and I'm working on some new project. Project. Oh, I'm stumbling about my words. I'm working on some new projects also to get more juice going in this world, to be creative. And well, no matter where you are on this beautiful planet called Mother Earth, I wish all of you a beautiful grand rising, beautiful day, or beautiful evening, no matter where you are. And thank you for listening to this episode, Fellow Human. Thank you. Namaste.
Oh yeah.
Motherfucker.
Nah, exactly.
Thanks, time.
Yes.
And enjoy your time, man. And
I will.
wish you safe travels with your mom and dad tomorrow. And we hook up soon.
Well, they're gonna travel. I'm staying here, unfortunately.
Right. When you have to travel to Simple, so
Yeah, it's the least I can do.
right. Okay. Thanks, man. Have a
For sure.
good one, and we talk to each other soon, man. Thanks.
Yes, for sure, bro.